So this video we're going to talk about the specific scenario of a dog that's latched onto your dog and how to separate, or if both dogs are latched on, how to separate them. And there's a couple different scenarios that we have to kind of delineate. First, which I would call the on-leash scenario, which is, best example, we're going for a walk. She's on my leash, other dog's on that guy's leash. The second scenario is a social scenario, which is an off-leash scenario, such as a dog park. And they're two kind of different things. So with the on-leash scenario, right, if I'm walking, I see somebody else coming, you know, a dog's going to be kind of protective of you. So if somebody or another dog gets too close, they might, you know, feel threatened and might need to lunge or whatever. I'll just kind of pull my dog off to the side a little bit, have her sit, have her lay down, whatever, and just let them pass, right? Now, and there's going to be cases where maybe somebody comes out of the apartment across the hall from you, or you're turning a corner and another guy's right there. And in that case, there's a little bit of a startling that takes place. But you want to put yourself between that guy and the dog so that there's just no possibility of an attack, right? So it's basically, you just don't want guy, dog, guy. You want dog, guy, guy, if you will. So, but let's talk about the park, actually, because that's the scenario where it's more likely to happen. Dog's more likely to attack. And I know a lot of people say don't take your dog to a dog park, and I don't think that's realistic. And you shouldn't. If you have a well-behaved dog, you shouldn't be restricted from going to a dog park because somebody else has a not well-behaved dog. So you can go to a doggy daycare, which is great, but if you do it consistently, it adds up. So unless you have a yard with another dog, I feel like you almost have to at times go to a dog park so they get socialization and they get to run around and play and so forth. Anyway, let's get to it. So there are a couple things that you'll see online. One is to carry a bottle of water vinegar mix, and you start seeing this happening. Obviously you're not on your phone and you're not way off someplace. You're close enough to your dog where you can immediately jump in, and you start spraying both the dogs, right? Or whatever dog is latched on, or both, you start spraying them, right? And that should separate them. Bear in mind they could re-engage. Other thing you can do is what people online describe, I guess it's called a collar choke. Only do this if both dogs have a collar. If one's in a harness, one's in a collar, it's not gonna be good. But you basically grab this collar in here and you twist and pull up, right? So if you've got both dogs, they're obviously engaged, you grab both collars, you twist it, you pull up, and they're gonna have to let go before they pass out. I mean, because they're essentially your collar choking both dogs. Now, if the other owner is like trying to pull his dog away, and that dog is latched onto your dog and he starts pulling it, that's gonna make it worse. So I would, again, get both of them, and if he has anything to say about it, but look, you know, your dog's latched on, whatever you're doing wasn't working, so I had to take charge of the situation, pull those collars up, get him up off the ground, and then they're gonna let go. What I'm not seeing, as I've done my searching, is any sort of a pry bar that you can use to help to prevent the re-engagement. So I ginned these up, right? And basically what all this is about yay long. These are small steel rods, and it's about I guess about a 1/4 inch. And so you cut them, and I put some soft cloth wrapped up in tape around there so that, you know, when you start to insert them, it's not going to be like metal on gums or whatever, and it's not going to hurt the dogs necessarily. Then there's two, because you have to assume that they're both latched on, they're both engaged. So when they're there, I would insert, you know, into the side, because obviously the mouth is open, it's biting on something, so there's going to be an opening, and you got to insert that in there, and then you can pry it up, right? And you're going to do that for both of the dogs. Now, once you've done that and you've kind of relieved the pressure, they're not pulling on their skin or anything anymore, I have to assume that other dog is going to try and re-engage. So I'm going to keep it there, right, until that owner clearly has control of his dog and there's distance between our dogs. But if that dog's close enough to attack again, I want to keep it there, because I might need to turn it in just enough to keep that dog at bay, if you will.